All right, you guys, welcome to 3 Ways to Sell. And this is kind of like your intro module before we run you through a complete cold to sold walkthrough, everything from social media, how to connect with your dream clients, what your website should entail, all of that. We're going to get there, but this is kind of your intro. So again, as it is with all modules, try not to get ahead of yourself because we will get there eventually. But I want to introduce you to the 3 different ways that you are going to sell throughout the cold to sold pipeline. And those are UGC, BTS, and overt selling. And what is so important as we go into these next modules and you kind of learn about sales psychology and how to sell in a way that feels really genuine, I need you to go into this with the dedication that you are going to keep your dream business that you have outlined in front of you and present at all times. The minute that you start convincing yourself that like the dream business isn't possible or it's not going to work or, why don't we kind of look at what other people are doing? It's already over. You have already severed that connection with your potential dream client, that soulmate client, that twin flame client. They only come when you are 100% dedicated to showing up to what you love, right? And with that dream business. So all of the dream business stuff that you have laid out in the previous modules, keep that present because that is what you need to be working off of, not what you think your business is right now, not what you think the industry wants to see from your business. I want you to keep that dream business front and center and be completely dedicated to communicating that. We are truly a mirror for our dream clients, okay? So if you are finding that you are attracting clients that just aren't that passionate about your services, that's a you problem. Sorry, it has to be said. You only book what you put out. So if your clients aren't really showing up for you with the passion that you really want to have, or you're like, they're just not hiring me for jobs that I'm not passionate about, you need to do some internal work. You need to let that ego go and you need to say, what am I communicating? Whether that be through my socials or my website or the way that I show up, that is letting them think that that's what I do. Like, why are they hiring me for those jobs? Because I'm clearly communicating that those jobs are what I do. So you need to do this internal work to be like, how can I be more distinct? How can I communicate this dream business more? How can I be so specific that they would never even question if I'm going to take a job like that? It wouldn't even cross their minds because they know exactly what it is that I offer. So whenever like business owners come to me and they're just like, I'm just not connecting with my clients. They are asking me to do jobs I'm not obsessed with, I'm not even comfortable with, or I don't like them. Like, where are my dream clients? Where's their passion? I'm always going to turn it to you. Where's your passion? Have you made it so abundantly clear what your passion is, what you specialize in, what you want to be creating? People can only hire you for what you advertise. So if you're finding a disconnect, which I'm assuming you are if you're here, that means that we're not advertising things properly. And that is the whole purpose of this course. And again, that is why you need to keep the dream business so front and center because that's what we want to advertise in order to start connecting with these dream clients. When it comes to connecting with our dream clients and it comes to selling, we have to sell. And maybe you saw the name of this module, the time to sell, the 3 ways to sell, and you were just like, oh no, icky, resistance, right? That's always what comes up for people is they just feel so weird about the aspect of selling their business. And the example they always use is like, I don't want to feel like a used car salesman. Here's why used car salesmen and your thoughts around sales exist and feel icky. It's because the used car salesman doesn't actually care about the product, doesn't care about the service. They just care about the money, right? That's the stereotype. And so you're only going to feel icky and weird if you don't care about the product or service and you only care about the money. That's when it starts getting icky. That's when you should feel like a used car salesman. That's when you should feel resistance to selling. And if you're feeling that way about selling your products and services, I need you to go back to that dream business module and we have to start there again. We have to make some tweaks because if you are truly working your dream business, you're putting it out there, that's what you're talking about, you should be so passionate that selling is just you talking about how much you love your business, you love your job, you love your services. I have built a business that I truly would do for free if capitalism, decides to finally go away. If you told me tomorrow that no longer do we have to work, everything is paid for, everything is taken care of, I would still do my job. It is so fun for me that I would do it for free. For sure, not a question in my mind. That wasn't the case years and years ago when I was doing what I thought everyone else needed to see. However, now that I've made my business my dream business, I would literally do it for free. I love it so much. And so it is so easy to sell to you guys because all I do is talk about how much I love my business, talk about how much fun it is, how much fulfillment it gives me, what a beautiful life it gives me, how much I love connecting with my clients. Selling is you just telling us how amazing your product or service is because you genuinely believe it's going to change people's lives if they get it in their hands. I could talk to you about VIP days and becoming for hours and hours and hours and literally forget that you're even going to pay me about it because it's like, I just know it's literally going to change your life. It is so easy to sell those things because I'm just like, oh my God, look at all of these things that we can fix and help you with. And oh my gosh, this is like literally so exciting. Same with any courses I put out, right? There are times where I'm like, ooh, I can see that the industry is kind of like maybe needing to talk about this, or this. If I don't feel called to it, I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Doesn't matter if it's going to bring in money to me. It is so important to me that I'm not selling anything that I don't feel passionate about because then it does get icky. Like if I'm not 100% backing my product or service, I don't want to do it. I don't want anything to do with it. I only want to sell things that I feel so excited about that I literally cannot shut up telling you about how much I love it and how much it's going to change the game for you. So again, go back to that dream business. That is what we are focusing on. That is what we're selling. As soon as selling feels weird, you've got to take a step back to those dream business modules and see what has stepped out of alignment. But hopefully you are feeling good about this dream business that you've laid out. And now we can talk about how to sell and connect with our soulmate clients. Okay, so there are 3 different ways to sell, and we'll use tons of different renditions of these throughout the cold to sold process, which we will get to, but right now we're just going to familiarize you with these 3 ways of selling. Number 1 is UGC, and this is user-generated content, and it is absolutely key when it comes to having people invest in you and your business. There have been so many reports done showing that I think it's something like 3/4 of consumers will not buy something without there being prevalent UGC. And so what this looks like is how people have used your product or service, how it makes them feel, reviews, behind the scenes of them even sharing things, right? If you are a business that helps people, better their lives or do something new or expand, even just sharing client wins is a form of UGC. Say you're a photographer, show us how people use their photography. Is it on their invites? Is it for their brand webpage? Show us these things. What UGC is you showing us how your clients and your customers work within your business. What is it like for them in order to work with you so that these new future dream clients can see themselves within your business? UGC is so important because it really is going to build that brand trust, right? Like anyone can show up to you and tell you like how amazing they are and how amazing their services are, but it might be empty promises, right? You never know. And so that's where UGC really comes in because it shows us like, oh, look, there is a social backing, a social trust to this business. Other people love working with them and have gotten the results or experience that they say that they're giving. You absolutely cannot have a business that thrives without some form of UGC. You can't expect people to invest hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in you if they don't know that you can actually deliver on these experiences. So that's UGC. Then we move our way into BTS, behind the scenes. And this is such a fun one because it's so easy and you don't even realize a lot of the time that it's actually selling. So there's obviously the obvious forms of BTS, which is like, let me show you on a shoot. Let me show you working with a client. Let me show you at a wedding day, whatever it may be. But there are such discrete ways of BTS and you don't even realize that someone is selling to you when they're showing it. You can take videos of you editing. You can take videos of you designing. You can even show, yourself taking off the weekends and what life is like outside of your business because your dream clients probably really value stuff like that, right? You get to show us behind the scenes of your life, of your products, of your services. You can show us what a client experience is actually like, right? You probably bought this course because of some form of BTS. This is actually like BTS is one of the biggest ways I sell my business because I'm able to kind of show you and get this hype and like mysterious feel around a lot of my products and services by giving you little sneak peeks. Maybe that's, this course, we have been dropping like little previews in our stories, whether that is like the content shoots and kind of showing you like, hey, just so you know, this is how you shoot branded content without stressing yourself out. And then we get dozens of DMs being like, where can I learn about this? And I'm like, oh, it's coming soon. But I just showed you the behind the scenes of me shooting it. I didn't actually even sell anything to you. I just showed you the behind the scenes. So you get to kind of show these experiences and what life looks like outside of the final deliverable that you offer. And that's BTS selling. And you don't even realize it when you're consuming it, that they're actually selling to you. This can even be something as simple, again, as like take a screen recording when you're working on a project, or maybe it's that you're showing us before and afters. Maybe it's that you are going to show us some results, right? Like all of these things are behind the scenes. And again, people want to see this. They want to learn more about what they can get from you outside of that final deliverable. And the third one is overt, blatant selling. And this is always where people get a little bit uncomfortable, but you don't need to. You are doing yourself a huge disservice, both you and your clients, your dream clients. They want to work with you. They just might not know it yet. And so by not actually showing up and selling your services, you're also doing them a disservice, because now they're looking for a vendor or a business just like yours. They just don't know it's you. So make sure that you are blatantly selling things. Tell us how to book you. Tell us about the new product launch. Show us how to get to your shop or, your investment page, whatever it may be. You need to be showing us and making it as easy as possible for us to hire you, right? Everyone is ingesting thousands and thousands of pieces of content a day. Don't make them scrounge through everything in order to figure out how to hire you. Make it as easy as possible. And again, this can be as simple as just being like, I'm literally so excited that books are open for 2024. Here's how you contact me. So I want you to look at this dream business. I want you to write out your products, your services, whatever it may be that you sell. And then I want you to write out what UGC examples you can use, what behind the scenes examples you can use, and what you should be overtly selling. So let's say we're working off of like my Becoming coaching program, right? So I would write that down. That's what it is. It's a 9-month coaching program. What UGC do I have? Okay, I can show literal client wins and reviews, right? Like people have written me reviews for Becoming Great. I can do that. That can be a little like overt. Sometimes it's a little in your face. What are other discrete ways that I could do that, right? Or like what are more simple UGC things, right? So one, I can take photos when I'm on my calls with my clients and be like, oh, we had the best call today in Becoming. I can show, when clients send me a little text being like, hey, I just booked this client at this higher rate. Great. I'm screenshotting it. It's going on my story. Maybe it's that they're sharing their new branding or their new website that they launched that we just did SEO on. Okay, I'm definitely going to shout that out. I'm going to take a screen recording of their site and be like, look at this brand new revolutionized website that we just built with them, right? That's all UGC that I can be using. Okay, now let's think BTS, right? This is where I can show you like my Dubsado and what it's like on a back end to be in Becoming. I can show you what it's like to be tweaking someone's site. I can show you before and afters of what I worked on for them. I can show, the client workflows that we build for them. I can show you what it's like to clock out on the weekends. I can show you, me answering all my Marco Polos, or I can talk about that, right? Like I can be like, oh, I'm bathing in, like I just posted the other day on my stories, like right now I'm in a real hustle mode with work, but I can't wait for this summer when I'm sitting in Italy for a few weeks and all I do is answer my Marco Polo calls for the Becoming girls. Like that's BTS and no one even knows it. I'm literally just showing you like, yeah, hey, by the way, I help business owners live beautiful, wonderful lives. And also I'm doing the same while helping them do that. There's so many ways that I can show behind the scenes. I can show you like the business Bibles that I'm building for my clients, or I can show you kind of what it's like to redesign their client experience and build questionnaires for them. I can talk to you about how amazing it is that I have systems and strategy built up in Becoming, because there's like 50 touch points within it and all of them are automated except for the calls on Marco Polos. Like there are so many ways that I can tell you about the Becoming program without actually having to sell you the Becoming program. So I want you to write out your products and services, write down all the different ways that you could show behind the scenes of that thing that aren't the actual product itself. Then I want you to write out overt selling and think to yourself, like, what are ways that I can overtly sell this? How often should I be doing that based on like my income goals? And then commit to doing it, right? And when you get to the hot section of this module, we have templates for you that will make this really, really simple. But for now, I want you to just write out, brainstorm how you can overtly sell. An important thing to remember is when you're selling through cold to sold with these 3 different ways, this is also a way to set up client expectations. Like I said, I can show you BTS of me like having a life on the weekends. I don't work on the weekends unless I like literally had a wedding or something. But like after being a wedding photographer for so many years, it's like so important to me that I take the weekends off. So I always show that. And that sets up client expectations, right? It tells you that I'm not going to work on a weekend or that I don't text my clients. I talk about that all the time. That's great because then when people work with me, they already know how to expect that. So just know that through selling in this really strategic yet personal way, you're also setting your clients up for future success. Okay, so now you're going to start moving into the cold sold pipeline as well as walking through websites. I don't want you to do that until you have brainstormed this UGC BTS overt selling. get that done first before you move into the other modules. But in the download section below, you're also going to find dozens of copywriting and caption prompts that you can use to sell in these ways and to use throughout the cold to sold pipeline. So go ahead, grab that PDF below in the downloads and keep that, as well as your dream business, all of your brainstorming ideas so far, keep it on you as you start to move through the next modules.